Good afternoon. It's the Pit Stop. I'm Stephen McCollum. For the next however long it takes, we look ahead to the racing this weekend at the Charlotte Roval. Of course, if you missed it earlier this week, we have it up at Robat TV, YouTube, and of course, at the Pit Stop Talk on Podbean as well for the free podcast. Well, we had the Look Back show looking back at Kansas last week, and our thoughts, or my thoughts at least, on the Kansas race there and the controversy afterwards around the Toyota teams happening there at Kansas. That is up on demand right now on the YouTube, Robat TV as well. And, well, this show here is the Look Ahead show where we do 2 shows a week. And it's just one looks back, one looks ahead to the racing coming up. And, well, Charlotte Roval this weekend. Truck Series starts their next 3 races to determine who their Final Four is here at Phoenix in the championship race. Less than a month away here for them. Xfinity Cup Series, well, elimination rates here, races here, coming up for them. Who advances? Who gets to go home in this playoff run? Well, elimination coming up this weekend. Full weekend of racing here in Charlotte on the Roval here coming up, and let's get into it here. Of course, the Truck Series, it gets it kicked off underway as well. They're fresh off the off week. The Truck Series resumes here this weekend at the Charlotte Roval. Well, they've had an off week, so maybe you don't know where the playoff standings are. Well, it's pretty simple where they are, right? Corey Heim, Lane Riggs are the 2 dominant guys on this track here. And there we go. Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, 1 and 2. Daniel Hemrick there as well. Ty Majeski there in the 4 spot above the cut line. After this 3 races here coming up, there will be 4 drivers eliminated, and right now, Tyler Ankrum, of course, Grant Effinger as well. All of them are below the cutoff line as of right now, and who can come up and do it, right, with Raja Karuth and even Caden Honeycutt there coming in the final spot in his Toyota. Look at those point differentials. Got 3 races to make a run to the top here. Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, they're going to advance out of this and get to the Final Four unless something catastrophic happens. So that leaves 2 spots for 6 drivers. And look at these points. They are as close as you could possibly get going to these 3 races for the championship 4 here. If we're going to make predictions and kind of guess, well, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I do think Ty Majeski is going to advance. Defending champion here of this series. He's been here before. I do think he's going to advance on and make it to the Final Four. He's got some work to do to keep in that top 4 from that side. Who's the other driver that will advance here coming up? Unless there's an absolute shocker here, Corey Heim and Lane Riggs is moving on. I think Ty Majeski is going to be one of them as well. With the races that are coming up, does that give us any indication on who the other person is that'll come up into that side? Folks, I don't know. Let's see race 1 here at Charlotte Roval. Get an idea of how guys are racing. This is the final road course of the season. Thank goodness, in my opinion. Here, so then we go back to traditional, right? Short track, 1.5ers coming up here as well. And it's going to change things here moving forward in these races. So Charlotte Roval is a 2.28-mile asphalt road course. If you don't know what it is, it's Charlotte Motor Speedway, but they race the road side of it. Truck Series gets underway Friday night, October 3rd, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which makes that 12:30 p.m. Phoenix time. Middle of the day racing here tomorrow or on Friday of this week. Well, practice and pole qualifying, if you like that. Of course, it's on Fox Sports 2. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, which makes it 8 a.m. Phoenix time, Friday morning. Here, if you're interested in the pole qualifying and these things. And for the Truck Series, right, you know you have the dominant guys. Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, dominant. Well, this week does mark the inaugural running of the NASCAR Truck Series here at Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course, which they call the Roval, as you know. It's the 4th playoff race here of 2024. 5 for these guys. Not a lot of experience here, but for these truck drivers at Charlotte Roval coming up as well. Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course serves as the 4th track of the 7-race NASCAR series. In the Truck Series, first race, as I said, of round of 8. So you've got 3 races to kind of qualify for that round of 4 coming up. So in this round, it's going to be Charlotte, obviously, Charlotte Roval, Talladega, and then Martinsville are the 3 races on this side. So knowing those three races, does that give us an idea of Ty Majeski, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs are my three picks to move on. So between Daniel Hemrick, Tyler Ankrum, Grant Effinger, Cade Honeycutt, and Roger Carruth, do these tracks favor somebody else in that fourth spot? I think we have the closest group. I'm not even 100% sold on Ty Majeski. But I think we have the closest battle here of the series for the Truck Series to see who can qualify for that group, for that final championship 4 out there. There's going to be a fun 3 races at Charlotte, Talladega, and Martinsville coming up here as well. So road course, in terms of road courses and truck drivers specifically, 3 of the drivers racing this weekend have road course wins, specifically in the Truck Series. Obviously, Corey Heim's one of them. Peter Kligerman, Ben Rhodes, or others. Ben Rhodes, Peter, not in the playoffs here coming up. It doesn't matter if they've had road wins. Can they get a surprise win this weekend? Possibly. But Corey Heim has 4 of them, and he's been dominant on the road courses here in the Truck Series as well. If you want to get into what's going to happen this weekend, and going into the playoffs, I told you, it's Corey Heim's playoffs to win or lose. He's dominated the regular season. He's dominated a lot of the playoffs, even though he hasn't won them all. It's his playoffs to win or lose, in my opinion. Lane Riggs can get him, and it's going to be an upset, but it won't be a monumental upset if Lane Riggs wins the championship. Anybody else, though, but those 2, it's going to be a monumental upset. Here's some stats for you need to know. Corey Heim has led 143 of 181 laps on road courses this season. Dominant. Corey Heim's 4 road poles and 4 wins, so they're the most all-time in Craftsman Truck Series history. Dominant by Corey Heim. Corey Heim has won the last 4 road courses in the Truck Series. Dominant. There's only one word to describe this: dominant. He's the SVG of Truck Series racing on these road courses as well. By the way, that stat I just gave you is the longest streak of all time. No other driver has won more than 2 straight road courses in that same time frame in the Truck Series. Have I not convinced you who's probably going to win this race? Corey Heim has 207 laps led on road courses. He's only 57 laps shy of the all-time record. That all-time record is 264 by Ron Hornaday Jr. 57. He's probably going to hit that record this weekend. So Corey Heim, if I haven't told you, there's no way to sugarcoat this race coming up. But if you want to lump Lane Riggs into this as well, Corey Heim and Lane Riggs have won the last 8 races in the Truck Series. And you have to go all the way back to Michigan on June 7th when Stuart Friesen won a race there in Michigan to find a driver, not those 2 that have won a race here in the Truck Series. And then you add on top of that, Corey Heim's dominant on the road courses. On top of that, don't all signs point to Corey Heim winning this race this weekend? Corey Heim, 311 laps led. Lane Riggs, 181 laps led. If you combine those together, 492 of the 572 laps in the playoffs so far have been won by those 2 guys and led by those 2 guys. 2 dominant drivers, and then one steps it up a level, especially on the road course, let alone on the ovals out there with Corey Heim. Then you want to look at it, right? Corey Heim and his Toyota, Lane Riggs and his Ford. Well, Chevrolet, Daniel Hemrick right now is in that 3rd playoff spot, but 3 Chevrolet drivers are on the underneath the cut line with 3 races to go in this round. Then you look at it even farther. Does Chevrolet have a chance this weekend? Well, Chevrolet has not won in 9 races. Last Chevrolet driver to win was Roger Carruth, Nashville. That was back in May, folks. Yeah. Chevrolet hasn't won since, but they won 6 of the first 12 races of the season. It's Chevy's longest winless streak in the Truck Series since 2014 and 2015 coming up. So you can eliminate Chevys. You can eliminate a lot of things in this race. The winner of this race, in my pick, it's got to be Corey Heim. There's no way you can justify going Lane Riggs on this unless you want this, a surprise underdog kind of coming up there. Nobody else, according to the statistics, the way Corey Heim runs, will win this race. Period. End of story. Corey Heim's the favorite. Corey Heim should win this race. If he doesn't win this race, will it be because of something he does? Something goes wrong on the truck? Or does somebody outrace him? I just don't see it happening on this road. Corey Heim is dominant on the road courses. Corey Heim's dominant on this series, and he's going to win this race and secure his spot, which he's going to advance to anyway in the Final Four of the championship series. That's not the story this weekend, if you want to look at a story, because Corey Heim should win this and move on. The story is, what do the other guys do? Lane Riggs has a 22-point lead above the cut line right now. Lane Riggs. You can't have a bad outing here and get behind on it. Lane Riggs is going to be okay in this round and make it to the 4 unless something major happens. The thing to watch here are the other 6 playoff drivers: Daniel Hemrick, Ty Majeski, Tyler Ankrum, Grant Effinger, Roger Carruth, and Caden Honeycutt. What do they do this weekend? Do they get themselves above the cut line after this week for the following races? Do they hurt themselves? Do the point differentials go too far south? That's what you're going to be watching this weekend, Friday night or Friday afternoon in the Truck Series going into this race. There's not going to be a lot of suspense other than that look here on the Truck Series. And that's basically as simple as it breaks down here on our look-ahead show of the Truck Series coming up. Corey Heim's race to win. Corey Heim dominates on these road courses. It's the last road course of the playoffs. Corey Heim's expected. Sure, you can take Corey Heim out and say, I'm not picking Corey Heim to win because he's such an overwhelming favorite in this. And I don't know who you pick after that. Nobody else has really shown anything on the road courses. Let's just sit back and enjoy this one here on the Truck Series here this weekend coming up for the Truck Series here. They have 3 races to go before they crown their championship 4 here in Phoenix, where they race it off for the championship from that perspective. Only thing to look forward to. The Xfinity side, well, elimination race. So, of course, a little bit more excitement here coming up on this side of things. As the Truck Series, first race of the next round, can mess up here. Just keep those points close here. And we could have a fantastic finish here in that Truck Series here, leading to Martinsville here at the end of this round on who advances and who doesn't. Well, now here in the Xfinity Series, it's an elimination race coming up at the Charlotte Roval. So let's get into and show you the reminder here on the playoff standings going into this third and final race of the round in 12 here on the Xfinity side. So this is Xfinity 1 is what we're looking at here. So you see it there on your screen and leave it up here as I talk, because playoff drivers from 5th place to 12th place, they're separated by just 25 points. Anything can happen in this race in terms of points to who can advance into this. If you don't win this race, you can go from 5th spot down to 12th spot with a blink of an eye if you don't have a good day. This is a competitive elimination race here. It's win, you move on. The only difference here, obviously, Brandon Jones, Connor Zilisch, and Justin Allgaier are advancing. Zilisch and Allgaier advancing off points. Brandon Jones won last week, so he gets to move on that point. Sam Mayer is going to advance out of this round as well, so put him down in that 4th spot. Connor Zilisch dominates the road courses in the Xfinity Series. We know this about him. He's favored to win this race, etc. So I believe, and I'm going to give you my pick here coming up, but I believe these guys are going to have to advance up on points. Sammy Smith in that 12th spot can easily make up that 14 points and get on the positive side. Any of these guys can, and this is down to that level in terms of what we're going to see this weekend here in Charlotte coming up. Points needed to advance here as you look at your screen here. All Mayer needs is 19 points to solidify his spot moving on. Taylor Gray, he needs 46 points to guarantee it. Sheldon Creed, 49 points. Carson Cavapel, 53 points. Big difference here in terms of guaranteed points to move on to advance. This race is going to be about staying on the racetrack, getting as many points as you humanly can. If you have a chance to win it at the end, go for it and win it. But stay on the racetrack and keep accumulating points to stay ahead of the people behind you. Mandatory to go on that side. Obviously, they're still racing the 2.28-mile asphalt Roval course there. They race Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is 2 p.m. Phoenix time as well. Of course, CW carries the Xfinity Series here this weekend as well. You see the closeness of this. And when you see my pick here coming up, you will see. As I said, Sam Mayer I have advancing unless he gets knocked out in the first round and miracles happen, Sam Mayer is going to advance in this series. 5 through 12 have to point their way in. Anybody can do it and move on depending this weekend. This is going to be a fantastic race coming up from this point. In terms of the Xfinity practice and the pole qualifying, well, it's going to be on the CW app as always, 11:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, 8:30 a.m. Phoenix time here for them, for those of you that enjoy that aspect of the racing here in Phoenix. Early morning, both for the truck and Xfinity, Friday and Saturday from that side. Again, Charlotte Roval's the final road course of this season. Now, in terms of the domination, we know this about the Xfinity Series, right? JR Motorsports, 16 races won this season. They have a series record. 6 different drivers, by the way, have won of those 16 races. Chevrolet, JR Motorsports dominate here as well. However, JR Motorsports is on a 2-race winless streak. That's the team's longest winless streak this season. Well, that's not. 3 is the longest winless streak. Can they get to that winless streak record? There are 3 this season by not winning this weekend on top of it, right? JR Motorsports is dominant. Sam Mayer, he has won twice this year. You know, he's got those 43 points up, as we just talked about. This is interesting here going into Charlotte Roval. He's the only active driver to win at the Charlotte Roval as well in the Xfinity Series. He's got that experience. We saw that with Brandon Jones last week in this series. Only one with experience in winning at Kansas wins at Kansas. This week, only Sam Mayer has that experience. But you have the side of Connor Zilisch. He has 5 career road course wins, most active among drivers, tied for second all time. He can break that record, get ahead of that second place spot this weekend as well. Connor Zilisch has won 5 of last 8 road courses, folks. 5 of his last 8 road course poles he's gotten as well. That's where pole qualifying is going to come in here. Does Connor Zilisch win another pole and set himself up for an easy win this weekend? Connor Zilisch, 1.7 average finish on road courses. Only the best of all time for the 19-year-old driver out there. And then you got the car manufacturers, right? Chevrolet, no shocker here. JR Motorsports has dominated this series this year, as we just told you, which means Chevrolets also have dominated. Chevrolet has led 3,424 of 4,501 laps this season. That's 76%, folks, if my math on my calculator was done properly. Chevrolet has won 23 of the 28 races of this season. Most all-time by a manufacturer through the 28 races in the Xfinity Series history out there. Isn't it amazing? Truck Series should be Corey Heim to win that. He dominates it there. And I picked him to win it. You had to point that way. Connor Zilisch should win this road course race. He's set up to win it. He's dominant on the road courses as a 19-year-old. It's his favorite type of racing. He's gotten better at the ovals. Connor Zilisch, all the stats say Connor Zilisch and the JR Motorsports should win this race this weekend. This isn't a situation where I say, well, if you don't pick the favorite, who would you go with? Sam Mayer's going to win this race this weekend at the Charlotte Roval to guarantee his move-on spot in the elimination. He's moving on anyway, but Sam Mayer's going to get the win this weekend. Connor Zilisch is going to be right there at the end. I mean, if you want to go with the favorite, go Connor Zilisch. But Sam Mayer's the only one to have won at the Charlotte Roval in the Xfinity Series history in terms of the drivers playing racing this weekend. Sam Mayer doesn't want to keep advancing just off of points. He wants to show he belongs. I believe this is the race Sam Mayer can get up there, beat Connor Zilisch. It's not going to be easy. Connor Zilisch should win this race. But I'm going to go with Sam Mayer this weekend to get that win there in the Xfinity Series for them coming up this weekend. So a lot of domination here in the Truck Series and on the Xfinity Series with specific drivers. Very few drivers domination. Yes, there's some intrigue here in the Xfinity Series, right? Even in the Truck Series, points are close together. It's more intriguing on the Xfinity sides because those points can be overcome. Who's going to be knocked in? Who's going to come out of it? It's going to be a fun overall racing weekend between them. And when we come back here at the pit stop, we'll keep it rolling. How close is the Cup Series and their elimination race at Charlotte Roval as well? Can we see some big movement, or is it pretty much settled going into this race? Well, I'll give you my opinion and analysis on it. Come on back. It's the Pit Stop Look Ahead Show. And we're back here at the Pit Stop Look Ahead Show, where second show of the week where we look ahead to the racing this weekend coming up. Of course, don't forget, Robat TV on demand right now. Free podcasting system as well on Podbean. Search at the Pit Stop Talk. Well, you can see the Look Back show where we look back to last weekend's racing and get our thoughts and opinions on that. As well, every week it's 2 shows during the week, same format, through the championship here in Phoenix. And they got banners up all over Phoenix. The building where we just have our new studios at here has a big advertisement for the championship weekend as well up on top of it. So we are less than a month away here from championship racing for the last time for a while here in Phoenix. As next year it does move, of course, to Miami Homestead Raceway coming up as well. So we've already covered the Truck Series look ahead, the Xfinity Series look ahead as well. Now let's talk a little bit of the Cup side of things. Obviously the Cup going towards Charlotte Roval as well, the 2.28 mile asphalt road course. They're going to race Sunday, of course, October 5th, 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Phoenix time coming up here as well. If you like practice and the pole qualifying, well, it'll be on True TV as well, 2 p.m. Eastern time as well on Saturday coming your way. So it's at 11 a.m. Phoenix time here for that. If you're interested in that, this, of course, is race 3 of 3, round of 12, so elimination race coming up here for the Cup Series, boys. Well, let's remind you of the playoff standings as of right now going into this race coming up. And, basically where we stand is, you go throw it up there, Kobe. Sorry about that. We got Chase Elliott winning last race, of course, advancing. Ryan Blaney advancing as well with his win in the first race of this round as well. Then you got Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, all on the positive side of the cut line right now going into this race here. This is a close number as we go into it. Kyle Larson, 54 points up, probably going to be safe. Denny Hamlin, 48 points up. As long as the Toyotas don't keep battling, they'll be up here and move on as well. Christopher Bell, I expect to advance as well. William Byron, I do expect to advance as long as he stays out of some stuff here as well going into this race. I think he will be okay in this round. But then you get into the guys that have serious question marks, right? And some of those guys could change that I just said probably are going to move on. Some of them might change out there. The largest bubble deficit overcome in the round of 12 cutoff race without a win, 22 points. Chase Elliott did that in 2019. So if you go down here, we're going to skip Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, right? 22 points is the biggest deficit to overcome in the round of 12 cutoff race. Well, you got Bubba Wallace at 26, Tyler Reddick at 29, Austin Cindric at 48. I told you before the last race, I told you going into this round, those 3 drivers are going to be in a lot of trouble here, and I don't expect them to move on. So if they are going to move on in points without winning this weekend, well, they'll break a largest deficit to do so. I don't think it's going to happen, and I think those 3 are out. Ross Chastain has a very slim chance to win this weekend, but he's 13 points behind Joey Logano. Wait till we get to some stats here coming up on the race this weekend in terms of Ford, folks. Not a good sign here coming up for Joey Logano. And the Ford guys coming up this weekend. Can Ross Chastain get those 13 points made up at least and get into that number 8 side? Chase Briscoe's a guy I'll be watching this weekend. I don't know how he's going to run this weekend. They can easily get past only 21 points up. So in my eyes, you got 3 spots, 3 drivers for the 2 spots here, in that 7th and 8th spot moving forward, unless somebody new wins, obviously, and changes things going into it. In 8 of 11 seasons with the elimination-style playoffs that we deal with right now, at least one driver moved on to the next round from below the bubble to the round of 8 in the cutoff race. So unless there's a shocker win here with Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, or Austin Cindric, that means Ross Chastain will be that guy to move on. I do give Ross Chastain a chance to point into the next round. Who gets knocked out, Chase Briscoe or Joey Logano, is the question. I personally think it might be Chase Briscoe that might drop below that line there. But there is a real threat that Joey Logano does so. I have zero confidence in the Ford guys coming up into the race this weekend. Here at the Charlotte Roval, I have very little faith in them, folks. To put it mildly, coming up, yeah, it's very little faith is what I got out of them. So that's setting up the playoff points and just remind you of where we stand in terms of what's coming up this weekend. And I apologize here, folks. I have a little bit of a computer issue with everything I was going to talk about. So let me get this loaded back up for us here so we can talk a little bit about this weekend's racing at the Charlotte Roval here. So I don't know. You guys have to reach out to me, of course, at the Pit Stop Talk is what the X, where you can reach out to me there. Of course, I can make comments there on YouTube as well on where we stand and what you guys think will happen this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up here. So final road course of the season as well for the Cup Series. Not a shocker there. And thank goodness. I don't think road courses should move much farther on. I don't even like them at this level, but at least they should not be in the next two rounds of the playoffs either, coming from that side. For the 5 previous Charlotte Roval winners, well, they're current playoff drivers out there. So who are they? We need to know. Ryan Blaney's already advancing. He's one of them, 2018. Chase Elliott, already advancing. Is 2019 and 2020 for him. Kyle Larson has done it twice, 21 and 24. And then Christopher Bell in 22 is the other driver to win here on the Charlotte Roval and still in the playoffs. Kyle Larson's been struggling lately. Christopher Bell has a win in the first round of the playoffs. He's got a real chance to win this race this weekend. But they also are going to move on points-wise unless something catastrophic happens for their coming up as well. The interesting stats you kind of get into this, the winner of the Charlotte Roval, went on to win the championship twice. Pay attention to who wins this race. Chase Elliott in 2020 won the Charlotte Roval, and then Kyle Larson in 21 won the Roval, went on to win the championship. It's not an always thing, but it is something that's happened twice, so something to pay attention to on who wins this weekend as well. So only twice has the winner of the race, or I guess in the final round of 12 finale, not always the Charlotte Roval, but only twice has the winner of this race been in a must-win situation. That's where I say I don't think you're going to see anybody winning this race and then bump themselves up. It's whoever wins this race is going to be somebody, either a non-playoff driver, hint, hint, or somebody that's going to be able to, is already going to point in, but they always also win the race just to solidify it on that side. You're not going to see anybody in that bottom 4 or even a Joey Logano probably win this race to get above that line coming up as well. I don't think you're going to see that happen this weekend as well. Why do I say Joey Logano is somebody to watch? Because he could be in trouble this weekend. He's in that 8th cutoff spot right now, only 13 points up on Ross Chastain on that side. Ford has not won at the Charlotte Roval since the track's first Cup race in 2018, and Ryan Blaney won it then. Fords do not win here. Team Penske, Ford teams. Joey Logano needs a solid point-filled race here in order to stay above that cut line. Can he get it is the question that we need to look at going into this race here as well. That's what I'm saying. The winner of this race, non-playoff guy, or guys up at the top of this line that are advancing regardless coming up as well. SVG's in this race. Non-playoff driver, got eliminated in the first round. He can become the second driver to win 5 consecutive Cup road course races. He'll join Jeff Gordon, by the way, if he wins this weekend. He also can begin the first driver to get their first 6 Cup wins on road courses. Doesn't win anywhere else, but wins on road courses this weekend. SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, has led 52% of road course laps this year. Well, that's inside the top 5 for 84% of the laps and inside the top 10 for 94% of the laps run on road courses. SVG, as we all know, dominates the road courses here in the Cup Series. Period. End of story. He does. Not in the playoffs, though, so I believe you're going to have to point your way into this race, into the playoffs, if you want to advance after this race. Wins is going to be hard here on the Charlotte Roval coming up because of SVG's presence on this road course as well. 5 of the last 14 road races were won by drivers getting their first road course win. So it doesn't happen very often. Obviously, way less than 50% there to get to that point. So it goes into that other factor of who can possibly win this race coming up. Kyle Larson, you saw his points there. Kyle Larson, I think, will point on and move on here. But in terms of winning it, he's got the worst average finish among full-time drivers on road courses this season. His average finish is 31. He needs to get out there, get some points in order to advance by qualifying on the point side of things on there as well. Chase Elliott's already qualified to move on. So as his stats and top 10 finishes in the next car gen, he'll be there at the end, sure. Does he get the win? Possibly. But it's not going to affect him moving on here coming up as well from there. Ryan Blaney's on a 23 race streak without a top 5 finish on road courses. Well, he won a race. He's moving on. Doesn't affect him at all from that perspective. But again, another Ford issue that you have to deal with as well for him. Kyle Larson won 2 of the last 9 road courses races, but his average finish in the other 7 races was 29th. Yeah. Got a point on there. So this is good wins, not good news for a lot of these drivers going into this road course race. You got to be up there high in points to survive this race in order to move on. Guys on the cut line are the Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain are the concerns going into this weekend as well there. So we've had it up for you and everything. And look, it's simple. My pick on this race, you got to go chalk here. Shane Van Gisbergen is going to win this race. Non-playoff driver going into the Charlotte Roval is going to have a successful day. If he doesn't win it, he's going to be there at the end pushing whoever does win it. And it's going to be somebody that is up there with him. Maybe a guy that is high up there in points to get in there and doesn't need it. He'll already be advancing and qualifying in points and things to that effect as well. This is going to come down to advancement by points here in the Cup Series. The elimination 4 are going to be 4 drivers that just couldn't point the points to move on, obviously. We're going to lose both 23-11 drivers this weekend in terms of the playoffs. They're going to get eliminated. Austin Cindric, appreciate your playoff consideration. You're going to be gone as well this weekend. Coming up here as well. The fun thing to watch is, one, SVG on a road course is a beautiful thing to see, folks. Beautiful thing to watch. Going to be fun to watch it. Right? Can somebody else down below, Ross Chastain, be up there in the top 2 or 3 and point his way up into the positive side? Can Joey Logano do what Fords don't do? Be there at the end and point his way up and get up into that. Can somebody get up there with Briscoe and get him to his 21-point lead and get that to eliminate and jump above him and push him down underneath? That's the thing you're going to be looking at this weekend, besides obviously SVG and his driving here on the road course coming up from that side. This is going to be a fun weekend here at the Charlotte Roval in terms of racing. Noon on Sunday coming up here. It's going to be a blast here. Elimination race Xfinity, Elimination race Cup. When we come back on Monday and do our look back race here, we're talking about it. We're going to be talking about 8 drivers total, 4 in Xfinity, 4 in Cup. And we're going to see if Corey Heim's dominating here on the Truck Series, folks. You got my picks? Hit me up at the Pit Stop Talk on X. Make your comments here on YouTube as well. Let me know who you have winning at Charlotte Roval this weekend in all 3 series. Going to be a fun one, folks. We look forward to talking to you next week when we do our look back show at the beginning of the week. Come and join us, would you? Have a great weekend.